ban away the Renekton as well.
Yeah, if you are in NA watching this, you are not dreaming. The bans are the same as game one so far. We'll see if things switch up. FlyQuest obviously on blue side, electing that after losing game one of the series. Last time they banned the Kalista here. We'll see if they go for that again. Instead, Renata taken away.
See if what adjustments we can allude to. I mean, that's the other side of it. Renata, of course, is very good for like generic counter engage too. If you do expect like a dive comp or melee heavy teams, it's always very good too.
I'm wondering if they look for something like a Rakan. Often is kind of shut down by the Renata, but obviously, as you say, just Renata's hostile takeover that ultimate really stops engage coming through. There's the Nautilus banned away by PSG, so not going to see the same support for FlyQuest. I'm sure Busio will be happy not to be put on the anchor man again, because it can be a struggle when your team starts falling behind.
All right, well, let's wait for the lock-in here. The hover is the same as last time.
I thought Bwipo always hovered Kai'Sa because his partner, his name starts with K. So
but Kai'Sa got some buffs.
She did get some buffs.
One of these days, we're definitely going to get a lock-in of the Kai'Sa MSI for sure. Lucian here, though, for what I assume is Masu. Technically, yeah, you can go solo lane Lucian still, but
I'm just saying.
Definitely thinking.
You have a rookie player in his first international tournament, and you say, hey, do you want to play carry Jinx in the first game where we play to protect you, and in the second game, hey, do you want to play Lucian, likely alongside an army? That's a lot of pressure being put on Masu's shoulders, and with the Kalista open, PSG are going to answer with lane pressure of their own.
Oh man, yeah, here's where the power comes from. That's why they went for the Renata ban. Didn't want to have to face that pairing, but still with the double hail of blades, that can be extremely scary. The Ashe picked up here to support that Kalista. No surprise, obviously Lucian Nami, the pairing here that they were going for. But Lucian Nami in, I mean, a lot of regions.
We hate it in Europe. Yeah, it's bad.
We as well. We weren't that good with it. So if you're not like Elk and On.
Yeah, don't do it. Don't do it. And if you do it, don't build Rabadons as your first item. But yeah, see how effective it can be. Obviously, first strike really powerful on Lucian in the mid game as well. You get a lot of gold out of it. The culling does a lot of work for you. Talia once again. We'll see if Mabel decides to answer with the Azir. Could look for something a little bit more aggressive, but you have already long-range engage with the Enchanted Crystal Arrow, and Azir to follow that up gives you great pick potential. And you know, it's Maple. You might as well put him on one of his more comfortable champions in the Azir.
He did a good job keeping up on the side laning too. Even in the stages of the game where PSG did not have control, he kept up his side laning and kept up his farm really, really well. Most CS for the majority of it. Now, though, let's take a look. Jungles and tops, baby.
So last game it was Viego Poppy for PSG and Jin Wukong for FlyQuest. I don't think the Viego is as important here because you're not looking for that reset comp. So instead they target the Poppy first ban.
Honestly, I would probably go similar bans here from the side of FlyQuest and target Jinjia's go-tos again. His Vi, Xin, and Wukong have just been so huge for PSG.
Yeah, I very much agree with you. You're just trying to pinch his pool. It's not like you're looking to stop a specific style or anything. You're just trying to make sure that Jinjia doesn't get something he's comfortable on, and he's very comfortable on these team-fighting junglers that can have early skirmishing. So with the Poppy band, the Wukong band, you can see PSG talking over this a little bit. They're going to ban the Shin themselves.
Interesting.
You're deep in thought, Kobe.
Yeah, trying to see if they want to fully continue on whittling it down too. I mean, Jinjia also did play like a decent amount of Nocturne, and like Nocturne Ashe can sometimes be you know, go-to plays, especially if you do have like an Azir too. But Volibear was way more popular in North America than it was in the PCS. There was only one game of Jinjia Volibear, so doesn't mean he wasn't thinking about it, but he's going to be the one to pick up the Sejuani this time around instead.
Sejuani with R5 top laner once again means that Bwipo has to pick blind here. Jinjia, you've already got a really strong team comp on the side of PSG. Good engage potential, good pick potential, a strong AD carry. They're likely to look to play through bot lane because of this Ashe Kalista double hail of blades. FlyQuest likely to try and do the same thing, currently looking for a tree in the jungle. Spire's going to take the Maokai. Where will Bwipo go? What do you really need with this comp? Maybe a little bit more engage would be nice. The Nature's Grass quite slow. Whereas Bwipo could look for something like an Ornn if he really wanted. It's not really the Bwipo style, though, going for a tank top laner.
Having him around the LCS on a lot of days too, though, coming in and being on Analyst Desk and talking about it, he is very proud of his Ornn play. Yeah. So he definitely does have that one in the back pocket, but it's going to be another Urgot for him. And again, he did do a very good job of getting under the tower and getting the experience last time around.
No way.
I mean,
no way, fam.
That would... Vayne is also a prime top laner to do lane swaps on, which would be very vulnerable.
Imagine getting lane swapped into a Lucian Nami as Vayne. I think the Cassante makes a little bit more sense, especially since you want to keep your Kalista and the Ashe in that lane against Lucian Nami. You have a lot of pressure with the Hail of Blades. Lucian scales well into the game. Obviously does have quite a bit of damage in the early game as well. But my expectations is that PSG should be able to get a little bit of the early push hit.
Yeah, much more straightforward here for PSG. Much better front line for them this time around. Man, all right. Can FlyQuest do something a little bit earlier here before PSG get to their team fights, before they get to their bread and butter? Because it just seems so difficult to out team fight them. But Jensen here on the Taliyah again, maybe he can make a little bit of earlier moves.
His Weaver's walls were good, though, especially around objective fights, separated the team well. As you say, maybe a level 6 move, get up, even use the rock surfing, the passive, walk near those walls, get up to a lane a little bit quicker than your lane opponent.
All right, game number 2. Pressure continues to mount on the young bottom lane here for FlyQuest. Busio had quite a few oopsies early on in the previous game. Definitely going to need to clean that up here, because PSG staring down that game point, and they are hungry, and they are coming in with a very comfortable team composition for them. Super straightforward front line, very strong bottom lane here for them as well.
Bread and butter, as you say, for PSG. We'll see if FlyQuest can upset the apple cart in the early game. Reminder that if PSG win this, they face the winner of T1 and Estral Esports for a spot in the main stage of MSI. If FlyQuest do lose this game, they don't get eliminated. They would play the loser of Estral T1, and then they'd have to play another best of 3 to maybe qualify to the main stage. So it's not all doom and gloom for FlyQuest, even if they do lose the series. I think PSG seen as the best team outside of the LCS, LPL, LCK, and the LEC. This was an expected, a series that was expected to be difficult for FlyQuest, and a series in which I did see a few people saying, well, PSG may be slightly favored.
Yep, that was the fan vote.
Yeah, but that's a time difference, man. Like, there's no way. I'm sorry. I'm here to, you know, put NA down when it's appropriate. Okay. It's not appropriate here. That was a time difference. It's like 2 a.m. It's 2 a.m.
You'll warn me before you give me the sucker punch.
I mean, if FlyQuest lose this game, you know, I'll praise PSG. I'm not gonna. No, I'm not going to break our friendship, Kobe, assuming it still exists after I said.
All right, so we did get a couple of shallow wards this time around, but it is going to be another lane swap, and these are not the lane swap wards. You need the triple wards cutting off all of the entrances through top side to get those normally. So again, not going to have the wards up for it for PSG, but is going to mean that Aji is going to be a little bit delayed here. Once again, last time Aji was delayed as well because they didn't go in there and get any of the riskier ones. This one is a little bit more standard here of the lane swap style for FlyQuest. This is the one where you have Bwipo helping out in the jungle clear. Inspired goes for the invade. They're starting on the PSG side. Just go full red quadrant clear, have your 4 people up on top side. If anybody from PSG tries to go sneak experience, you know, you're hunting out any people trying to go around, use the fog of war to
alcoves
to
as
leech.
Well.
Yeah, exactly. Alcoves, leeching over the side or anything. You got all 4 people there. If anyone's around, then you can go for the dive. But PSG are just doing the full answer there.
It actually looks like a slight difference in the way the teams have played the lane swap. It's a 2-wave stack in the top lane for FlyQuest. The wave already crashing onto that tower, whereas Betty and Woody have decided on a 3-wave stack. So Bwipo is here catching this wave. He might TP down towards the bottom lane, but there's a lot more minions there. And all 4 members of PSG to try and answer. So we'll see if Bwipo decides to TP down here, or if all of that golden experience is just lost to the tower.
Yeah, I like maybe if you a Scion and you have that super OP Scion passive and you're fine with dying down there because your passive can just eat up some waves and experience, then maybe. But Not opting to do it here for the Urgot quite yet. He is going to go for the recall now on the duo lane of FlyQuest while they actually leave Whippo up there. And you see even a question mark ping on the mini-map from PSG as they see this happening, because usually you're like, oh yeah, we're funneling turret plate money into our AD carries. But FlyQuest here, with Whippo being a veteran, had the Urgot getting some of the extra resources in this lane swap. Not going to be quite as starved as usual for the top laners.
Something they did very well in game was making sure that Whippo got his experience. He was 7 when Azure was only 5, and that led to Azure dying a couple of times in the early game. In the end, 2 plates to Betty and Woody in the bot lane, only 1 over to FlyQuest in the top side. Inspired coming across here. Yeah, Junja doesn't have any support, so it would have just been a smite fight, and Inspired wins that one out by course of having his smite, whereas I don't believe Junja had his at the time.
And so because FlyQuest opted to then do the swap back, send their bottom lane down to the bottom side while keeping Whippo up there, they also got the advantage of getting Aji's teleport cooldown down. Plus, you mentioned like the second turret plate is so close to going down on top side. And Urgot pretty good at going and grabbing those too. So they have like potential turret plate money also sitting there for themselves. And the bottom lane, with the Lucian Nami on the big stacked wave here, going to crash it.
The more I think about it, Kobe, the more I like getting Masu and Busio these early levels, because one of the big struggles for Lucian Nami is you really need a couple of spells each to trade effectively. You want the ebb and flow, you want to put the Tidecaller's Blessing on, you want Lucian to be able to dash forward and use the Q. So by moving up towards the top side, you escape the level 1 from Betty and Woody with the double hail of blades, and now you can just lane against them because you have those extra spells, and you can actually trade effectively into the Kalista and the Ashe.
Exactly. The most fearsome part about these lanes for the double hail of blades is the level 1 and the zoning out there, as Keria has demonstrated so many times. Jensen trying to get the delay there, does get it, and is going to allow them to match back up in pretty nice terms. So that's the thing with these lane swaps too. It's the flexibility, and they don't always have to be full or keeping up to them, depending on your circumstances of the matchups, being able to go back towards the mid game as well. But Woody's moving up on them.
Good bubble from Busio. Masu trading onto Woody. You could see Betty was trying to get in there as well, but a bubble from Busio stops the advance of the AD carry. Woody also going for the barrier because of the burst potential of the Lucian Nami. Really, like you love to have Ghost on Ashe support because of how much better it makes you at just chasing your opponents. You can dash in and out of auto range, but when you're playing into something with so much burst potential, you really need to take that barrier. Inspired chucks a sapling across the wall. Ginger has smite and will secure the big one, but Inspired takes a few of those little razor peaks.
Yeah, he wanted to keep up the continued counter jungling, but since the lane swaps were broken, Inspired coming back on normal pathway.
Flash from Jensen. Maple still has flash. Ginger was on his way.
Yeah, good job there. Jensen knew because they had just chased Sejuani off those raptors.
If he'd forgotten, he's got the memory of a goldfish there, Kobe.
Is going to be able to respond to that one, no problem. But PSG, with their push on bottom side, move right back up. They can get their objective here. Got the move from Jensen, too, on this Talia. More active this time around. He's got his ulti.
Azure's still only level 5, trying to dash away. There's the seismic shove back onto him. Jensen takes a tower shot. Maple coming in, doesn't have that Emperor's Divide, so in the end, the teleport burnt for PSG, and no summoners invested. Oh, Jensen actually... Oh, he flashed earlier, yeah. He flashed in the mid lane, so no summoners burnt in that exchange for FlyQuest.
All right, Maple kind of hovering around too. Drops the ward in the back of the Void Grubs here. And since they had the recall from Jensen, Inspired just has Whippo with him. And Maple's going to be able to force Inspired to smite the first of the Void Grubs and then back off of them.
I think it's important to take away the 6, though, because in game 1, the 6 was pretty good for PSG to give them a lot of bonus damage, but I think in a game like this where you have an Ashe, where you have a Kalista, it's even more powerful to get those 6 grubs. So just taking the 1 gives you that jungle treat, gives you the bit of extra experience for Inspired, and means you can't get the 6 stack for PSG.
And he goes back to finish the job. you see what I did to the last Void Grubs? Gigia goes in, gets the other 2 picked up, and is going to be able to finish off on a full clear now, has all of his camps up. So, you know, you mentioned the jungle treats. Always nice to grab those and then be able to do another full clear afterwards. Jinji is going to be level 6 as well off of the top side here. So Sejuani ready to punish that Talia with Sejuani ultimate. Maybe they make a pass here through towards Jensen. It's generally what you want to do in these Azir matchups here. Maple, his ultimate is coming off in a few seconds. So definitely a kind of danger window here for the no flash Talia.
Small little thing that Jensen did, instead of walking to the mid lane and then round to his Razor Beaks, he went through the lane bush to his Razor Beaks to place this ward. So if he had walked into the lane and round, he would have been seen by Maple placing the ward. Now Ginger, not as aware that the ward is there. Obviously it's a relatively common ward, so you can kind of predict that it might be there, but a little bit of information denial there by the mid lane for FlyQuest, and will protect him a little bit obviously as well if Ginger decides to walk across there.
Little visit towards bottom side, but
Hawk shot is so broken, man.
Nice, you sound like a jungler, one of us.
It's so broken. I played a bunch of Ashe support for a while. It's just such a strong ability if you place it correctly. Inspired, spotted Ginger stepping in.
All right, round 3 on the big raptor.
Ginger gets it. And he gets one of the small ones as well. Inspired force away the red buff up as well. And with the push from bot lane, PSG can invest resources into this. Bring your double AD carries across. Maple stepping in as well. He's going to answer Jensen's push in the mid lane. Will Marcio and Busio look for this fight? No level 6 on Busio.
He knows that Junjia used his smite on the big raptor. So if he had some vision there, then Inspired could have gone in since he didn't have his smite timer, and the smite timers were desynced. But as you mentioned, the duo lanes make the jungle invade. And so he can't even get any vision, doesn't want to mess around with anything dangerous there. Now, though, pushed up again. Lucian Nami on turret, calling Inspired on over on that Maokai as we see the rotation here from Woody, trying to get right back and make sure they've got the extra safety here. Ashe Arrow also available.
Very even game between these two teams early on here. About an 800 gold lead for FlyQuest. Some of that coming obviously from Bwipo in the top lane, who's got a 20 CS lead in this Urgot into Cassante matchup. Urgot very powerful as the game goes on. You want level 9 for max rank of your Purge, and then you want level 13 for max ranks of your passive as well, so that you get those shotgun knees just blowing up people's faces all over the place.
Yeah, definitely like shotgun knees with your AoE damage.
Definitely like blowing up people's faces.
I was kind of like, how far in that do we want to go? But it is really, really nice. Like the damage adds up, splash damage on double melee front lines as well. We've seen especially Urgot be super successful into...
Jensen caught out, does have the flash, Maple dashing in as well, and Woody's here to take the kill. Delivered to him on a silver platter. Not sure he needed to take that one as Ashe support, but he'll very happily take the 400 gold.
Yeah, that is the play we were kind of expecting a little bit earlier, but even if it's delayed, still bringing the extra one there too. Destroy Jensen. He had no timer to use the flash. I believe it had like...
I think it was back up, but yeah, as you say, CC chain was...
immediately comboed and deleted there. So nice little surgical play from PSG. Pass through, get some more money, and Maple once again so reliable there on the Azir.
Also burns Jensen's TP and going to the top lane with the Dragon up in 30 seconds. PSG got the first of this game. They try and claim some river control. Marcio and Busio pushing up bot. Inspired will join them to step into this jungle. Maple and Emperor's Divide will be back up in about 45 seconds or so should be up for a Dragon fight.
Yeah, good job by him. He gets the turret plate money while just walking forward, doesn't get hit by the seismic shove. Even gets his auto attack damage right back off as well. So really, really confident play from him. And now next cooldown for it. Let's see if they make the move. Is Inspired right now going through bottom to move up to mid.
He was just dodging everything, man. Guy's got his blue suede shoes on. He's going to keep trading with Jensen here. The flash still available. Good look for a unraveled volley there.
I think it's just going to be nice, as you kind of mentioned, denying the full 6, but it should be pretty easy for PSG here to pick up, get the 4 bonus, get at least 1 Void Might. That really is like a lot of pushing power in itself. 2 is super nice as well. Obviously if you could get all 6, super nice, but even just getting the single Void
Arrow, Arrow, we talked about it! Oh. Jensen must have not seen it coming out of the darkness, hits him square in the middle of the head, and Maple gets his first kill of the game.
Woody is the sniper this time around. Nice shot from him. And it's also nice too because Woody got kill credit last time around, so it's like, here you go.
Yeah, just a little gift, Yeah.
Benevolent support here.
Can I offer you an egg in this trying time?
Handing it up to the veteran on a silver platter. Let's take a little look at it. He's out of vision, quite nice. He's very deep in the jungle. You always want to be in the fog of war when firing it.
And the TP in for Maple, perfectly timed. Yeah, I really like the positioning there from Woody, because you're trying to avoid all the possible ward positions, because if you see the arrow on a ward, it's a lot easier to dodge, obviously.
And it comes over the giant wall there, shooting it through the terrain. He himself on fog of war, so.
And the ward in the mid lane as well, helping spot out where Jensen was recalling. And now 2 kills over to PSG. The gold swings in their favor as Jensen burns the flash to get away from Maple. No seismic. And Jensen is the target this game.
Man, Maple just constantly walking forward on these seismic shoves too, not getting hit by any of them.
Hey, Kobe, it's 30 minutes in the game. It's time for Inspired to lane gank. Hiding in the bush. Can't find anyone. Junja here as well, though. Inspired, not that tanky yet. Only has the Kindle Gem. And a cloth armor to his name. The Glacial Prism. Here's the arrow to follow. Tsunami out from Buzio. The route into the Fate's Call. Will they re-engage? Woody here has the flash, dashes back. Buzio falling low, has to burn a flash of his own. Maple look for Jensen once again. Flash away by Maple across the seismic shove, but in the bot lane, Inspired. Found a re-engage and Betty falls. FlyQuest on the board as Woody tries to trade on the Buzio and flashes away. The barrier, not enough to keep him alive to kill off Masu. Jensen escaped as well. In the end, a 1-for-1 exchange, 2-for-1 exchange, in fact, in favor of FlyQuest.
Oh, I kind of want to see the replay of the bottom side, because Junjia actually left the bottom lane there. Inspired stuck around. You're kind of memeing on him and his lane game.
He loves them, and they work.
But he's stuck around, and he's able to get 2 kills into the Lucian. Once again, into Masu, into the FlyQuest rookie AD carry. All right, so we know what happened in the initial trade here, and the cooldowns used. Sejuani ultimate used, and then they're going to use the Kalista ultimate as well. But really what we're looking for here is kind of the exit afterwards.
Post this moment.
Exactly. You have the wards up. It was just a
really
flash,
yeah.
Really nice flash there, Inspired, because they saw Sejuani move up the river. As soon as you take your eyes off of him, he goes for it. Woody does also use his flash to get one, but 2 of the kills, and both of them going into the actual Lucian himself here. The carry that they're looking to force feed is exactly what FlyQuest would need to try and get their way right back into this. You kind of touched on it earlier when you're talking about the lane swap and Lucianami really wanting a couple of those levels, but this is the moment in the game where you're building for, and you get to rotate them to mid lane once you get the single item completion even for both of them. When you have that extra proc damage.
Yeah, the Imperial Mandate just does so much work.
Yeah, Mandate plus the Shiv combo, really, really good burst damage, and so you can get those Lucian dashes in for the big chunks. Let's see if FlyQuest's young bottom lane can actually pay them back for it.
And the Lucian much more about getting in the enemy's faces than the Jinx. Jinx more about stepping back, waiting for your opportunities to strike. Masu here on that front line once again. Buzio just buffing him up. It's a couple of kills for Masu in the bot lane, really turning tides for FlyQuest, because Jensen has just been punished over and over again in this game. Maple is getting ahead. You can see the lead as well for Woody. Kind of expected when he gets a couple of kills, and the Halo Blades helping you out in the early game as well. You can see Buzio still hasn't even upgraded his World Atlas, so just Woody slightly ahead in terms of support itemization. There's the rapid fire cannon now for Masu as well.
I think one of the biggest things, and since this is, game 2 showing up as well with a lot of the mid lane focus, a lot of people had their eyes on this matchup with Jensen meeting back up with Maple. By the way, the all-time matchup between these 2 players, because they did also play on the international stage back in 2016, it was tied coming into the series, 3-3. Maple, of course, getting the 4-3 advantage after last game. But
so do we just stop if FlyQuest win this game? We must be permanently tied. You can never break this.
Ended on a tie. Well, it doesn't look like Maple's going to want it that way, because, man, the mid lane focus has really, once again, paid off for him. With Woody firing the arrows through mid lane with those extra ganks.
Ninja looking for Inspired here. Nice foul first. Woody stepping forward. Betty chunked out by the Culling, and Masu so aggressive. Flash away by Betty. TP in this. Enchanting Missile hits onto Masu. Junja still looking for that engage. Nature's grasp across. A Great Weaver's Wall from Jensen splits up PSG. And even though Azure pulls him out with the all out, he's not able to escape. It's one falling. Junja goes down. PSG, we're looking for a fight. The Glacial Prism massively wide from Junja at the start of the battle, and FlyQuest very happy to accept that kill.
I mean, especially with a huge amount of criticism going with North American and even, as you were mentioning, some European like Lucianami combos. critical there that Masu actually, as the fight starts, chunks out Betty and forces Betty's flash with that culling. That is one of the big reasons for the duo, as we were mentioning. Now he's on 2-item power spike here with this rapid fire Shiv double proc combo, and FlyQuest off of that kill, they return right back to the Dragon. Whipple's bottom lane, but he has teleport.
Ooh, the damage on Jensen though. This lethality, Kalista can put out a lot of work with her spears. Whipple comes in, Purge activated. Dragon secured, Ginger on his way. No Glacial Prism for him. It's actually just come back off cooldown, I think.
Hey.
PSG, we're looking for something, we couldn't find anything. In the end, just watching a movie of FlyQuest taking their second Dragon of the game. Rift Tower coming down as well in mid lane, charging forward. FlyQuest opening up a lot of the map right now, getting quite a lot of neutral objectives. Can't quite crack the tower.
Mini-map 2 is kind of giving away the shot calling here for PSG. They have Maple heading up. They wanted to try and punish FlyQuest. They're like, hey, if they stick around and try and finish off this tower, Maple come in for a seismic. He's actually going in anyway. He's going in for a little chunk though, but he has all game. Maple go in for a Shurima shuffle and try and sweep them in and punish them, but FlyQuest did not stick around. They did not bait themselves into sticking around at that objective towards mid lane, and so they get their recalls off, even with PSG spending both their solo laners walking towards mid.
Waiting in the bush here. We'll spot Maple clearing out that ward. How long do you wait here? I think he's backing. I'm going to be honest, as soon as you see Maple...
Well, let's see about the rest. All of FlyQuest are coming up here.
Inspired's here first. Ginger there. There's the TP in. Whippo trying to get behind Maple, who just slides away. Azure can use the Path Maker to try and escape. Does have the All Out as well, and will pull Inspired back. Ginger on that front line. There's the arrow hits Jensen. Do they go for more? Glacial Prism for the follow-up. Azure with the all-out going in. The Emperor's Survival lock up with Azure falling low. Masu joining the fray alongside Busio. But Woody and Betty are on the side of PSG, and it's a 5v5 in the top lane with no one falling.
Yeah, pretty like sneaky setup there for FlyQuest with Blippo going into the brush to get the extra vision and positioning and then calling everyone over. But a better response.
Can you stay?
A better response from PSG. And they're gonna...
Woody flashes for the slow. Needs an auto on Busio. Finds it. Busio, though, does still have a flash of his own. Woody still on the chase. The double bubble, though, from Busio stops PSG's advance.
But they got the tower on the counter push there and calling Aji back in with his teleport. So PSG come out of it, countering the play from FlyQuest, getting the objective, getting top tower down and the extra little bit of a gold there. It got a little risky because the only one they actually caught with the Maokai ultimate under tower is a Cassante. And then you're like, okay, well, I'm like Q bumping back a Cassante towards the rest of my team, and then he just ults Inspired, and it got a little dicey there with the health bars. It was a very good response from PSG immediately after seeing the extra attempted turn there.
It's FlyQuest just seeing if they could find something. Weren't quite able to manage it. Masu, though, still holding onto his flash and his cleanse. Busio the same. The arrow a possibility from Woody, but Masu with that cleanse can play relatively aggressive here. Woody could just look for the slow over the wall.
And Inspired is no stranger, to playing on the international stage with rookie AD carries and setting them up for success. Namely, we think back to his time on EG with Danny, and here another game where he's rushing Knight's Vow. He's playing the Maokai. He flashed in to get some early kills for the Lucian for Masu. Really trying to set him up for success. And so far, off of that couple of mid lane plays, Masu has been able to stay safe and pay him back a little bit.
Not that tanky. Arrow goes down, hits onto the back line, but it's only Jensen locked up. Inspired with a good twisted advance to dodge away from the arrow himself. So it's 2 ultimates used by PSG. Not too much burnt out of FlyQuest. Whippo pushing in bot lane. Azure's going to walk across here, but Whippo has a lot of damage right now with the Black Cleaver. Azure Pathmaker's out. You can see that's what the Urgot does best. Give him time with a tank and start to shred.
Oh, yeah.
Wow, the Weaver's Wall coming out as well. Fear Beyond Death misses. 2 ultimates burnt by FlyQuest, but they'll get a lot of damage on this tower.
2 games in a row. Whippo on his Urgot. Really, really good advantages for them, and it allows kind of this shift over. They finish off the mid turret. They get the secondary turret on bottom side. Nice investment.
Yeah, really nice from FlyQuest. Just using the fact that that Glacial Prism and the Enchanted Crystal were burnt to move down towards the bot lane, get the push in there, then Nature's Grass mid, you can't stay around, because you can just get caught out, and Masu once again stepping up here. PSG backs against the ropes a little bit. It's still only 1,000 gold between the teams, and neither team on soul point. FlyQuest still need at least one more Drake before they get towards that possible Ocean Song.
Yeah, with that extra money of secondary side lane turret going down, Whippo is able to finish up his Steric's Gauge too. This item is so OP right now. It got nerfed pretty heavily on live.
Yeah.
And for Urgot specifically, this combo here allows him to be on the front line, but as you said, also shredding right through the double tank lines with the rush on the Black Cleaver and those explosive shotgun knees. So Whippo once again set up to be a critical piece here for FlyQuest, and they send him back topside now to finish up on that topside turret while the dragon spawns, and they know that PSG are going to head towards that one.
Just going to go for a full 7 dragons again this game, it seems. Kobe traded as the tower falls in the top lane.
Whippo does have teleports.
Dragon's already down to 1,000. Junja doesn't smite it. Inspire takes it, steals it away in the size of shove. Locks up Junja, it's huge. TP behind as well as PSG looks to try and escape, but Maple's just going to walk into the waiting arms of Whippo. Fear beyond death, the death finds him. Whippo perfectly dodging the Emperor's Divide. Betty and Woody trying to get away, but Woody can't even get over the tower. Now the wolves that descend, the chasing pack. Busio will fall, but so will Betty, so will Woody. It's FlyQuest. Get the steal and get the fight.
Oh man, I was looking at Whippo and if he's gonna teleport or not. Meanwhile, Inspire just slowly walks up and steals the dragon, and then they immediately kill Junjia afterwards too and chase down PSG. That's not just gonna be a dragon. FlyQuest rotate right over to Baron. See if Junjia has a chance to like counter steal here. He does have flash available.
And TP as well. He's looking for this control wall behind him. I'm actually slightly worried for FlyQuest here if this fight goes any longer. Junjia trying to get around the wall here. He's already down to 5,000. Maple up. TP's behind. The Emperor's Divide, not a possibility. Junjia goes in. Junjia looking for the steal. It's down to 1,700. Junjia gets it! And Maple gets in! Masu locked up, flashes away, manages to dash away with the passcode. Maple has to flash the wall as well as Junjia's caught in the pit with Whippo inspired and Jensen. Masu falls in charge of Casano. Goes between the goalposts. Whippo with the step axe. Maple locked up, knocked back with the sizing shove. FlyQuest are somehow fighting their way out of this battle. And now they're managing to clean it up. Whippo gets a double. The ace is going to go over to FlyQuest. Even though they lose the Baron, they win the fight.
Audrey is going to have nightmares of Whippo. All of PSG might have nightmares. That Urgot was insane. He got the ultimate at the back of Baron Pit, then flash over to be able to use the fear. So even though Junjia gets one back, he steals the Baron. Look at this, actually beautiful from him. Gets in, and it's just a straight up good old-fashioned Baron steal. A little bit early on the other one. So at 173, I believe I saw on the Baron, Junjia, calm, cool, collected, is able to get it for PSG. But then the response from FlyQuest, as Whippo, you can see at the back of the wall, he makes use of the staircase shield.
Good.
Then once he has the ultimate coming in, able to go for the flash with the fear on the top side to get Betty as well. Like, he's playing out of his mind here. Even though they did lose the first game, he was
the shining light.
He was in control of a lot of the advantages there too, so.
He was the shining light for FlyQuest there. Now 5-0-2. Jack show complete. FlyQuest, even though they lose the Baron, all they will do is slow their push.
That's some Urgot damage right there.
7.178k. Inspired, look at the Nature's Grasp here. Junjia can tank it for Betty. That's what he'll do. Inspired tanks the turret. Masu takes a bit of chip damage as steps in front of Betty's spears, but without the Baron, it's a bit harder for FlyQuest to push in, obviously, into the Azir with the Callisto and the Ashe. They do have enough wave clear to stop FlyQuest in their tracks.
Whew, what a series.
Yep.
This has been a fun one. Game number one, super banger, went the entire distance. FlyQuest in this one, fighting back quite heavily here as far as getting themselves to Dragon Soul points. Only 1 minute and 40 seconds left on the Dragon Soul arrival, and then getting themselves such a nice lead after the extra kills come through off of Baron, setting themselves up to actually fight that Dragon fight too. Setup's going to be really big though.
He yeets Maple back, but he's yeeted back himself. Will still have the Sterax there. Maple's going to have to try and get away. The tidal wave from across the wall. Whippo stunned up. There's the Sterax shield. Jensen diving in with Weaver's wall. Whippo still on that front line. Fear beyond death will lock up Betty as well. And this is perfect for FlyQuest. Whippo absolutely bodying fools as PSG are found wanting.
So we haven't been giving like player of the games. I don't think we're giving player of the game awards for MSI games, but let's give it out this game.
My boy's wide, Kobe. My boy is wide right now. 6-0-4. He initiated and he demolished PSG. Dragon up in 50 seconds, Soul on the line for FlyQuest. If they can find it, they'll reset, and then they'll look to push and get this vision control.
2 blind picks as well.
Yep.
Double blind pick Urgots. Again, he moves in. He's a true juggernaut. So they got a little bit of vision here and actually go up to see it. Yeah, was he actually? Was that actually the Urgot? Yes, it definitely was. They used their Azir sweep on him too, but the Steric's popping. Like, he's so ahead that it's even when he's right in the middle with 5 members there. That's actually where he wants to be. Completely roast them, chase them down as well for the extra kills, and now we're talking about the Dragon Soul arrival here. FlyQuest going to force some cooldowns first.
Blocked out with the Pathmaker, no tower here for PSG to retreat to. Maple looking for that flank position, 7 seconds on the Emperor's Divide. Could go a really long way around if he wants to get behind FlyQuest, but he's going to be spotted on a control ward now.
All right, watch Woody's positioning too, because the Ash Arrow is ready, but as you said, when you're firing it over vision, it's going to be way, way less effective. So let's see if they can actually retake vision here leading up to the Dragon. FlyQuest, they've got so many advantages setting up for this one. Vision advantage, forcing the small corridor here move from PSG.
There's the Weaver's Wall, separates Woody and Betty from the team. The engage, a possibility. Seismic shove goes short as PSG maybe look for the re-engage. The arrow out only hits Bwipo.
PSG, they've still got hopes for a big steal here. This would be an objective bounty as well.
And the problem is PSG now pathing towards the bottom lane have given over mid lane prio. So if FlyQuest want, they can just push through mid and look for an inhibitor tower. They're not going to do that. They want the fight.
Yeah, they want the fight.
They want the soul. There's the Nature's Grasp, blocked up with the Pathmaker. Woody able to stay away from it. Tidal Wave in as well as Ginger's falling low, and the Fear Beyond Death will pull back 1. Glacial Prison out in time to stop Whipper from getting further into the fight. Ginger has to flash across the wall as PSG are retreating. Maple goes in, flash away by Jensen. Butio falls low, and so does Masu. Masu down, but Bwipo is still very healthy and very happy to be surrounded by PSG. He gobbles up 2 as PSG almost turned around the fight, but FlyQuest will still secure this Dragon.
Okay. Tell me there's 0 chance that Junjia sticks around.
There's 0 chance. Okay. You're good, Kobe. You're good.
Okay.
You can stop doubting them. Oh, actually, you never do that, right?
Never gonna doubt Bwipo, that's for sure. He sticks around on the Urgot. He's plenty of damage to be able to finish off the objective, and they do get the Dragon Soul. Here's another look at the initiation, inspired with the ultimate over the top of the wall, so they get the first kills on the front line. And then it gets a little bit dicey here when Maple goes in for the big Azir shuffle. He got Masu and Busio, the entire bottom lane there with the double.
Betty actually flashes to try and auto-attack Masu, but by doing that, he dashes through the Unraveled Earth and stuns himself. And he's also, like, you're on top of Whipper at that point. It's one of those, in the heat of the moment, I understand why he did it, but looking back at the play, maybe it would have been better to try and retreat away from Bwipo and let Maple deal with that backline. Really hard to call, though, in the heat of the moment when you see Maple sliding in with what was a great Emperor's Divide.
Yeah, definitely a big hero move there from Maple. Give them, an opening, a little bit of hope into it, but FlyQuest on securing the Dragon Soul as well. Now you've got all of that regeneration as well to make it really easy to just go towards Barons, start them up, see if you get some bait. If you don't, then you can finish it. If you do, then you can go for the kills.
And Jensen and River are doing exactly that already, down to 8,000. Look at the damage coming out from that Urgot onto the Baron. They'll spot it out with the Hawk Shot, inspired on that front line. Azure trying to dodge away. There's the Glacial Prism only onto Inspired. Twisted advances forward. There's the arrow as well. Masu cleanses away, and Maple dashes through the Unraveled Earth and is immediately locked up. And Bwipo will just run through PSG. What can you do in the face of a man this wide and this happy to put you in the meat grinder? FlyQuest surround Azure. Wooded can only stand and watch. He's going to infinity and beyond, buried beneath the dirt by FlyQuest, and we are going to game 3.
Oh, what a series! FlyQuest will strike back in game number 2 to send us to the decisive game 3.
And we wondered after game 1 whether PSG's team fighting would just be too much for FlyQuest, but on the back of Bwipo, on the back of a man this wide, FlyQuest have answered that question.
Turns out shotgun knees pretty effective against just about everything.
Just love